Good morning. We want to talk to you about the stages that you go through in the development of the human as it lives its life and experiences what it is that is needed to experience while it is here on this plane. We know that when a human enters the earth, oftentimes, most of them, primarily all of them, are stuck in the three low energy centers. We have talked about this before. This would be where there is sex, lack, wanting of money or longing for money, and then the feeling of control or efforting their experience. This would be what you would experience if you were on the 3D plane of reality in the three lower energy centers. And we have talked to you before, as you move up in your development or your understanding of yourself, you expand in your consciousness and you enter into the fourth dimension of reality where you start to observe your experience, you start to know that you're creating it, but you do move to condemnation and judgment about the way that you're doing it and the way others are doing it. And that's totally normal, yeah? And then we have told you as you go to the fifth dimension of reality, you start to recognize the same thing. You're observing yourself, noticing what it is you are doing and what it is you are getting in your experience, but you are now minus the judgment and condemnation of self and others, and therefore in that love of self, that connection to the divine part of yourself happens and manifestation speeds, and you start to receive the really good stuff that has been created by all the things that you have gone through. There that is in a nutshell. And then you would continue on from here into the dissolving of the ego part of you. You would start to move into oneness, the understanding that you all come from one thing. And you would get more of an understanding of the concept of why you have experienced what you have experienced. And it's not because you're working at it. It's not because the ego is a bad thing. It's because you're no longer efforting your experience. You no longer need it anymore. And therefore it dissolves. It's a very natural evolutionary process. Just like there are certain things that go away on animals or humans when they are no longer needed or used. And we would describe this to be much the same in that regard. So we want you to understand that your life, you may feel when you are in the three lower energy centers and entering into the fourth center of observation and condemnation and judgment, when you're in that place or point in your evolution, you might have a very difficult time accepting the experiences that are coming to you. You might feel defeated, you might feel cheated, you might feel victimized in those experiences because you think your life is about those things. You think it is about getting the money, getting the person that you love, and getting everything to flow into your experience that you're wanting to feel. And to some degree, that can be true, but it's not totally true because the reason you're getting the experiences that you're getting is for the evolution of your soul. It's not for the concrete, solid money or even the relationships that you're going to achieve in alignment, although those will come, yeah? But it's not the reason that you are here. And so when you give up the idea that the reason you are here is to get something or achieve something or be something, when you give that up, then the natural flow of experiences that would be very satisfying you will just come into you and you will move out of third dimensional creation into what we call creating from joy and happiness and the understanding of how you create, you see. We felt it was important to kind of go over this again and summarize this process because when a human experiences something, say you've lost all your money, you were doing quite well, maybe you were on a spiritual path and thought you were doing everything right, and then all of a sudden you got blown up, something happened, and you were set back in your experience, you got a divorce, or you lost a bunch of money, or you got ill, something occurred in your experience. And so what happens in a lower level vibration, or one that is in the third dimensional reality, is they start to condemn their experience, judge it, feel sorry for themselves, feel as though they're victimized, feel as though creation doesn't work, this doesn't work because this has happened to me. And they never realize that everything's happening to me, for me, to move me out of third dimensional thinking and into this solid place of creating in the fifth dimension where I know that I will experience these things, but I will not allow myself to be taken down by them or even affected by them. I will get the growth and the understanding that is needed for me, by me, in these experiences. And therefore, I will no longer need to have them, you see. There's nothing happening to you or happened to you that was not necessary. And there was nothing that happened to you or is happening to you that you have not called upon yourself for the experience of it. You can fight against it. You can kick and scream and try to crawl out of the crib before you're ready, but you're not going to get out. And if you do, you're going to fall on your head and somebody's going to put you back in. So you have to surrender. This is what you need to learn in your life experience. When you surrender, when you give up the idea that you have done something wrong or that an experience is wrong and you just surrender to it. Surrender. Do you understand what we're saying? Stop pushing against it. Stop thinking it was wrong or bad or not the right thing to occur or that you were victimized or something happened that shouldn't have happened. When you move to surrender, This is how you align. This is how you get what it is that is created the moment that you want it. You must give up the idea that what you have experienced is wrong, unnecessary, dissatisfying, hurtful, victimized, judgmental, condemning. Give it up. Choose it. Know that you have come here as an experiencer to remove energetic entrapments in yourself and those that are in your lineage. And you might think it's about money. You might think it's about relationships. You might think it's about a new house. You might think it's about a job that you're going to get. And you might get all those things if you move to the way that we're telling you to move. But that's not really why you're here. You're here for the evolution of your soul, for the rise in consciousness that you can obtain. And you have to trust in the way that your being or your soul aspect of you is flowing through you to give you the lessons that you need to get in order to move out of third dimensional ways of being, lack, distrust, betrayal, money problems, relationship problems. They just wouldn't be there if there wasn't something in there that was at the root of them or the cause. They're not the cause. You're the cause. The lineage is the cause. The past life expressions are the cause. So we want you to go about your experience in a whole new way. I love myself in all things. I love myself in all feelings. I love myself in all losses. I surrender to whatever life throws at me because I know I have created it for me and that I will benefit from it in the surrender of it. We hope that you understand what it is that we are trying to communicate to you. Because as long as you go to victimization, as long as you go to the idea that something has happened that you don't deserve or that is victimizing you, you can never move out of the 3 lower energy centers, and you will remain in that cesspool over and over and over again until you surrender. I needed that. I learned something from that. I'm giving that up. I'm letting go. I don't need to change it. I don't need to condemn it. I don't need to redo it. I just need to know that that was something that I needed to go through. Good day.